start off right at the beginning with round one of the championship held at Imola. The 1997 Porsche Supercup getting underway in the support of the San Marino Formula One Grand Prix. It's the 5th season of the Porsche Supercup and the competition promises to be as tough as ever. One of the guest drivers, Gianni Giudici, and in the number 2 car is Loris Capirossi, the double 125cc motorcycle world champion. But it's Jean-Pierre Malchet, third in the qualifying practice, who draws pole position out of the lot, and that makes him very happy indeed. He shares the front row with Oliver Mattei as conditions a little bit slippery, a bit treacherous as the Super Cup gets underway for the first race of the 97 season. The race being shortened down to 9 laps, in fact, to take into account the tricky conditions, and immediately the action begins into the first corners. Malchet takes the lead ahead of Mattei and Heisman. On board with Patrick Simon, and going wide goes Farnbacher onto the grass, gets it back onto the circuit again, losing a place to Patrick Simon. Also going off is Willems in the number 41 car, and there's more dramas as Jean-Pierre Malchet, the race leader, spins it. That really is a surprise for the experienced former journalist. And just look at that, there's just no grip at all. Remarkable to see Malchet actually lose control though, and it's Mattei who is now the new race leader. The battle for second place is going on between Patrick Heisman and Patrick Simon. The Dutchman versus the German driver. It's the German driver in the black car who's just got the edge, but the Dutch driver in the white car just squeezing past and making his way up into second as there's more dramas. The number 9 car it is that spins. Oliver Mattei, the race leader. Again, we've lost another leader. He stalls the engine but gets underway. So the battle for the lead. Pat Heisman, having taken Simon Dupuis, is also on the move. He's got past Farnbacher and up into third place. This is the battle for the lead now. Oh, and they've made contact out of the final corner. Simon spins off. Heisman comes across the line to take the checkered flag and to take the first win of the season. Heisman across the line, but it isn't going to be the win. The stewards decide to give him a 10-second penalty due to that final corner shunt, and it's Simon who's given the win. So he is the championship leader after the first race. Dupuis is in second place, and Heisman, with the 10-second penalty, is demoted to third place. Round 2 of the Super Cup and the fantastic Monaco street circuit, bathed in sunshine, and former Grand Prix driver, or trying to be Grand Prix driver, Ricardo Rosset, one of the guest drivers on this occasion. We've got some other Formula 1 drivers, or former Formula 1 drivers involved. Jacques Lafitte's in the number 8 car, and we've also got Jean-Pierre Jarier racing, a very experienced Porsche driver in recent years, racing in the Carrera Cup and everything else. Pole position for Jean-Pierre Malchet, and the final moments of qualifying, Malchet grabbing pole, some 2 seconds faster than when he last did it in 1995. At the start of the race then, Malchet getting off the line pretty well, and it's Heisman and Simon again who are battling for second place as they come into Saint-Devote for the first time. Farnbacher is fourth, but Dupuis spun it. Oh, and we've got cars up in the air. Galimberti climbing over the car of Gross in the number 25, and it's all sorts of drama as they try and get round the first corner. At Lowe's corner, Jarier overtaking Farnbacher, who's down to 5th, and Corradi getting into 8th place, past Belmondo. At the chicane, Farnbacher getting his 4th place back, past Jarier. We go on board with Patrick Simon, who loses the place to Farnbacher, who sneaks ahead as they go up the hill towards Casino Square. On board with Jean-Pierre Jarier now, and he gets past Simon and goes 5th. More problems though. Jacques Lafitte loses control. Well, you wouldn't expect. Oh, and it's a nasty shunt indeed as he gets collected by Oosterbosch. Big crash indeed. Both cars destroyed, but fortunately both drivers uninjured. Just look at this, nowhere to go at all. Squeezed into the barrier, and Jacques Lafitte's race coming to a very dramatic end. On board with Simon again. Up ahead, Mattei now trying to move up at the same time. And Mattei also overtaking Simon and Corradi. Second place, Heisman has gearbox problems, though. He drops back, and he drops right down the order to finish down in 16th place. Zilani probably didn't see Rosenblake entering the Rasgas corner, and that's the reason that they made contact. More crashing into the barriers from the Porsche Supercup contenders, but they all try and get going again right in front of some of the other competitors, which doesn't make life very easy. Jarier overtaking Farnbacher for second place. A classic manoeuvre into the chicane, and Jarier moves up a position. Back at the chicane, and the number 2 car, Richelme, spinning. He continues very quickly, though, keeps his foot down over the curbs, and back onto the track. This is a replay from onboard. Look at that, hardly lost any momentum at all, kept it going, and rejoined the track. And the Formula 1 Tyrrell test driver, the Japanese driver Tagaki, spinning into Casino, but also recovering without hitting the barrier and getting going once more, as does Schoenbrot at the Lowe's hairpin down by the hotel. The battle for second place still going on between Jarier, Farnbacher and Matai. But Patrick Simon has problems as he gets on the brakes for the chicane. It's all proving to be a bit too exciting out there for the Super Cup contenders. Simon rejoins without damaging the Porsche. And with just a couple of laps to go, Jarier still holding on to second ahead of Farnbacher and Matai. Contact as Farnbacher hits the back of Jarier. Jarier spins it, he hits the barrier. Not that hard, but that means Farnbacher's into second place. Farnbacher and Matai now battling themselves. And let's take another look at that. Farnbacher got down the inside as Jarier tried to turn into the kink coming into Casino Square. Off went the veteran, former Grand Prix driver. There wasn't a lot he could do. But the win goes to Jean-Pierre Malchet, taking the checker flag some 6 seconds ahead of Farnbacher, Matai and Carradi finishing 4th. Simon is 5th, Dupuis 6th, and Ricardo Rosset, a respectable result, finishing in 7th. Malchet taking his 2nd win at Monaco. His 1st came in 1995. In the championship, Simon still leads with 36 points, ahead of Farnbacher on 32 and Dominic Dupuis on 28. Malchet's moved himself up to 6th place with that victory with 20 points. All fun and games in the Porsche Supercup, and there'll be plenty more of that as the season continues.